The year was 207 BCE. For over a decade, the Second Punic War had raged across the Mediterranean, with Hannibal Barca waging a relentless campaign against Rome on Italian soil. But despite his unmatched battlefield tactics, he lacked the reinforcements needed to strike the final blow. His brother, Hasdrubal Barca, had been tasked with delivering that support. Marching from Iberia, he led a powerful Carthaginian army across the Alps, just as Hannibal had done years earlier. If the brothers united, Rome would face its greatest threat yet. But Rome had learned from past mistakes. Determined to prevent their union, the Senate acted swiftly. 2 consular armies, led by Gaius Claudius Nero and Marcus Livius Salinator, were deployed to intercept Hasdrubal. After a grueling pursuit, the Romans cornered him near the Metaurus River. The stage was set for a decisive engagement, one that would determine the fate of the war. As dawn broke, Hasdrubal surveyed the battlefield. His forces, consisting of Iberians, Gauls, and veteran Carthaginian troops, had taken up a strong defensive position near the river. Steep hills protected one flank, while the river itself guarded the other. Confident that the Romans would struggle to advance, he prepared for battle. On the other side, the Roman legions formed into disciplined ranks. The consuls understood that a direct assault would be costly. But then, a stroke of luck. Hasdrubal's right flank, held by his Gallic allies, was poorly positioned. They were exhausted from forced marches and had little cohesion. Seeing this weakness, Claudius Nero made a bold decision. He gathered his best troops and, under the cover of the rising dust, secretly maneuvered them toward the vulnerable flank. Then, the signal was given. The Roman legions surged forward, engaging Hasdrubal's center in fierce combat. The clash of shields and the roar of soldiers echoed across the valley. The Carthaginian and Iberian troops fought fiercely, holding their ground against the Roman onslaught. But as the battle raged, Nero's hidden force completed its maneuver. Without warning, the Roman veterans stormed down upon the exposed Gallic flank. Already exhausted, the Gauls were overwhelmed in moments, their lines collapsing under the sheer force of the assault. Panic spread through Hasdrubal's ranks. The once stable Carthaginian position unraveled as the Romans pressed their advantage. Realizing the battle was lost, Hasdrubal made one final, desperate charge, fighting bravely among his men. But it was too late. The Roman legions crushed what remained of the Carthaginian army, driving them into the river. Hasdrubal himself was killed in the chaos, his head later sent to Hannibal as a grim message of Rome's victory. The Battle of the Metaurus was a turning point in the war. With Hasdrubal's army destroyed, Hannibal's hopes of reinforcement were shattered. The dream of a Carthaginian victory in Italy had died on the banks of the Metaurus. From this moment on, Rome would take the offensive, pushing Hannibal back and ultimately deciding the fate of the ancient world. The war was not yet over, but the balance had shifted, and with Rome's resilience, the end for Carthage was drawing near.